Hello, this is Mrs. Neubauer, and let's work on our penmanship. So, what three letters make everything in the world move? N-R-G, energy. Get it? Okay, a little science in there today. Lesson goal number 24 is to write words with spacing to form sentences. So, we've graduated to writing words next to each other. I feel so proud of buddy. I feel so proud of you guys. This is a lot of work. Okay, so let's see what I'm talking about. So just like we had letter spacing, we're going to have word spacing. So you can see we have the, and then we have dog. Now on the top line is way too much space, so it almost looks like it's not together to form a sentence. The bottom one though, you can see we have the, and then we have a space, so it's kind of like there's a letter there, but it's not there. And then we have dog. So you can see that we have way too much space and then just the right amount. So you want to do the same thing. I always like to, when we're writing, I'll show you trying to do like a finger space in between. Okay, so I'm going to change the camera over and we can get started on our sentences. Okay, so if you haven't already, we have 24A, we're going to have a medium, we're going to have 24B, small, and 24C are wide ruled. So we call this a fun pangram sentences. So basically, pangrams have each letter of the alphabet throughout the sentence. So that's why they turn kind of fun, because the person that made them had to be really creative with the words. So you can see this is a really famous one. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. So it has the Q is a hard one to find, X, and Z. So those three letters are hard to find. So this one, woven silk pajamas exchanged for blue quartz. So Z, Q, and our X. So these are what we call pangrams, and they can make fun. The other two, the medium, the small, and the wide ruled, have different ones as well. So this time, like we just said, what we have to worry about when we're tracing is you almost have like a letter in between your words. So we just accomplished our letter spacing, now we have to accomplish word spacing. So you don't want too much, you don't want too little, you want to have the just right amount. So you can see if we wrote a word in there, there's about 3 spaces, about 3 spaces, about 3 spaces, about 3 spaces. So you can see within this sentence, this pangram, is each one has about the same space in between. And that's the goals. But sometimes it gets a little confusing when you have your exit and your, as we call it, the entrance and the exit, the beginning and the end strokes. They can kind of, looks like they almost overlap a little bit, but not usually. So there is a little space. So don't think of that as having a space. Think of in between where your letter component actually is as the space. Don't do a space with the exit and entrance. Otherwise, it's going to be too much. Okay, so just like we've been doing, you're going to trace over the words for each letter of the alphabet and then on its own. And I gave you the same amount of space, so hopefully you'll be able to write it. This one gets a little close at the end, so we'll see how you do based on your way you write cursive. So that's the first one. First one's a medium. The same thing we have for 24B. You're going to trace over. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. More words and letter combinations to help. Okay, and there's an imaginary letter in between my 2 words. Just got to think of that. Okay, doing the same thing, tracing over them. And at the end, go back and do your dot for your eye. And then you're going to try some on your own. Okay, so got our loop letter H. over curve, under curve, the little loop letter. Okay, so you just want to kind of pretend like there could be a space there, and then just write the next letter of the first word. I'm sorry, the first letter of the next word. That was opposite, wasn't it? Okay. So hopefully the letter spacing is down. You accomplished that goal. You had quite a lot of different words now. Go back and dot your I. Same thing. You want to have a little bit of. You could look at the dash, the 3, but we're going to get rid of that center line coming up. So you might just want to okay. It looks like there's a letter in between. I can start my word. Okay. And for now. Alrighty, so lots of practice and keep going. So just remember you want to have the same amount of space in between your words. Here's another Pangram 56 big red jet plane zoomed quickly by the tower. So our X in there, that's always hard, the Q and the Z for zoomed. So same thing you're going to do. This time we have a dash, so that's always nice to practice. When you have a dash in between, it's just kind of like it's a separate word, but you go back and add the dash, so you guys can practice that too. And then the final one, 24C, is the wide ruled paper size. Remember, that's the goal of the lesson. And we have another one, the J, pig, fox, zebra, and my wolves quacked. Or quack, sorry. And the last one, Watch Jeopardy, Alex Trebek's fun TV quiz game. So I did not come up with these. If you look Pangram in Google, you can find quite a bit. Pangram. Same thing. You're going to practice your letter spacing, just smaller this time. And hopefully you've done enough wide rule practice where you're having control, staying in the top and the bottom line, keeping your lowercase letters on the dash line. All right, so I got to pretend there's a letter in between. And try my next word. Okay. Quick. Go back and dot my I. And then my brown, so I want to say, okay, there's going to be a space here. And right now it feels like a lot because you're having to worry so much about this space, but eventually you'll get so used to writing words that you don't even think about it anymore. Just like anything, you don't think about running. Maybe when you first started running you had to think about it, but now you can just run and don't even think about it. Riding your bike, that was always a challenge. Making sure now I could just ride a bike without thinking about it. Same thing with cursive. We're going to write without thinking about it soon enough. Okay, that was a lot today. Writing sentences can be a little challenging, but just remember all the things I have taught you. So our lesson goal is to write words with letter spacing, and it's just to form sentences, and it's just like there's an imaginary letter in between each word. It's just not there. So just imagine your word, and then everything will be good. Won't be too far apart, won't be too close. It'll be definitely, as we say, readable, legible. All right, so I just want you to continue practicing. This one might take you a day or two. There's plenty of room to continue to write your pangrams, or you can find your own pangrams too. All right, so keep practicing, and progress over perfection. Have a good day.